In terms of the generative AI capabilities, I know the teams have been working, with intent, and they've deployed a couple of production use cases as well. And I think the most important one is around identifying windshield, damages, right? And the cleanliness of the windshield often gives you an idea of how truthful the claim is. In general, what do you see as, the impact of those generative AI capabilities from Google, and how do you see that unfolding for your business?
Bala, as you mentioned, I think you went deep into one of the use cases that we've been working on, which is around vehicle inspection. And just to give a little bit of context, what is the problem? The problem earlier used to be that if you needed to get your vehicle inspected, you had to actually send a human being over, right? And that was fraught with its own set of issues. One was just coordination, logistics, expense. Secondly, there was always a potential for, some kind of chaos happening in that interaction. But, for the first time introduced the concept of video inspection, that you do an inspection yourself, using your cell phone and smartphone, etc. Again, there are a lot of security implications. So you have to manage the process. I think we're on the third stage, which is, I think, the most logical stage, which is to say that why do we need human beings to look at the video at all? When you break down that problem, like you said, the windshield is one of the big issues, because typically there are cracks and there is always, a dispute later whether there was existing crack, new crack, etc. So again, to make this simpler, what we have done is, leveraging Google Cloud's capabilities, AI capabilities, we have been able to create a process where literally a person can make the video. The good news is that within a few minutes, we also give them feedback on the video. So if there is some problem, let's say that you haven't got the windshield properly, or you haven't taken the RC number plate properly, you would send us the video. 12 hours later, somebody would look at it, then we would get back. This is, I think, a very beautiful use case of generative AI, where we are making the process simpler, faster, more convenient for the customer, and increasing trust in insurance. Because see, finally, that's the key thing. One is the sort of on-device capability, AI capability that Google Cloud offers. Imagine if somebody is on the policybazaar.com, mobile or desktop site, and there is any point that they wish to, clarify further. Now, right there and then, they can ask that question. If they want a translation, let's say, my first language may not be English. My first language may be another language. Now, if I want to see that term translated into my native language, I can immediately ask and see it right away.
From a humanoid perspective, right, that's where exactly, you come in. I think Policybazaar has been working very closely with the IRDA. And, IRDA has this Bima Vistar program, right, where they can do some of these, question answer literacy, helping people adopt insurance in the tier 2, tier 3 towns. And I think it's an idea which is very close to your heart as well. And you believe that the humanoid agent could sort of also expand this role. How would you speak about the humanoid piece of it compared to the people engagement, which, IRDA is planning?
One of the main challenges with insurance is that sometimes it can be a slightly intimidating kind of thing. That, it seems like when I say insurance to you, the first reaction is a little bit, okay, take a step back. Do I really understand this? It's complex. Is it for me? Is it not for me? And one of the reasons that happens is that the person, they may not always be somebody who can explain it to you in a uniform manner, who will know all the terms and conditions of the policy. It's kind of hard to remember. Right? Let's say someone is researching at night, someone wants to check something, just wants to clarify a doubt about your policy or something. I think a humanoid can really, step in over there. And similarly, for the human who's selling the policy or who's explaining the policy, they can be a source of, facts, truth, any point that they may have forgotten. So I really feel that this is a really unique opportunity where both human and humanoid together can just magnify the impact that insurance can have and help us all achieve sort of the regulator's vision. And when they call, we were able to, all summarization and understanding of what was discussed on the call. That has become one of the very big use cases that we have for generative AI. It helps in our own productivity, right? It helps our advisors be more productive. They are able to see what was discussed. Secondly, from a customer perspective, it gives them a lot of confidence that, whatever they had said has been correctly recorded and stored. And the third thing, which is, I think, really helping us, is that we are able to compare what was said on the call with what has been declared in the policy. So one of the challenges that insurance has is that when the claim comes, there may be some confusion around what was said and what was not said. Now, this actually takes away all the confusion, and we are making sure right up front. So we can actually go back to the customer and say, look, you spoke about diabetes on the call. Is it that you were just asking, or would you like to make sure that you record this? And see, one of the challenges with insurance also is that, you have to share certain information about yourself. You may have certain inhibitions in sharing that information. You may, not want to discuss it openly with a person, etc. So I think this, with a humanoid, we can avoid all such issues. So you can discuss everything very, very transparently, because without that transparency, I think the risk can't be judged properly.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure, Sarbvir, talking to you, and we are really looking forward to this, if I may use the word, a power pack partnership out here.
Thank you to Google and to you for, bringing, considering insurance also as a use case. It is very important for society, is what I would say. And if technology can be brought to bear on such an important area, it'd be nothing better than that.